Russian and Syrian warplanes have reportedly targeted Syria's last rebel stronghold, a day after high-level talks failed to produce a ceasefire. According to the White Helmets, civilians have been killed, including children. Video uploaded by the group shows rescue workers removing rubble in order to reach a person trapped beneath, as fresh airstrikes targeted the southern edge of Idlib, where rebels are still in control. According to a war monitor, Russian and Syrian government warplanes dropped bombs on civilian homes. This after a high-stakes summit of the presidents of Turkey, Iran and Russia yesterday failed to forestall a pending military offensive against rebels in Idlib, forcing thousands of people in the war-ravaged province to stage protests for international help. An estimated 3 million people live in Idlib. Syrian forces, backed by Russia and Iran, are poised to launch an attack against insurgents. But there are concerns it will lead to a humanitarian disaster. At the trilateral meeting, Turkey's president said the country cannot afford another refugee crisis. But Russian President Vladimir Putin opposed the calls for a ceasefire, while the Iranian president agreed Syria must regain control of all of its territory. A scholar in Middle Eastern affairs said the situation in Idlib is difficult because there are a variety of rebel groups involved in the conflicts.
So unless there is an agreement among the three parties on what to do with all of these groups, it's going to be difficult.
A UN Security Council meeting on the situation in Idlib yesterday was told by the UK ambassador the Syrian regime will be held accountable by the international community if an offensive results in mass civilian casualties.
There are more babies in Idlib than there are terrorists, and I think that should give those engaging in military action pause for thought.
The United States said funding to help Syria rebuild is off the table unless there is a political settlement to end the war. 75 members of Egypt's banned Muslim Brotherhood have been sentenced to death today. The mass trial stemmed from their involvement in a 2013 pro-Muslim Brotherhood sit-in that ended with a violent police dispersal. Hundreds of protesters were killed. Amnesty International says in a statement it condemns today's verdict in the strongest terms, writing in part, the fact that not a single police officer has been brought to account shows what a mockery of justice this trial was. Others being tried in the case were handed life sentences and hundreds more heavy prison terms. The government has said many of the protesters were armed and that police were also killed.